Hi Ron, how much muscle mass do you really lose when you start with Ozempic? Quick disclaimer, does not make advice, is entertainment only. So Ozempic, or brand name for semaglutide, can also be Wegovy. So Wegovy is actually the weight loss drug and Ozempic is the diabetes drug. Basically, both are semaglutides and doing the same thing. Okay? How they work, they suppress your appetite. When your appetite is smaller, you eat less, and especially you eat less protein. Okay, when you eat less protein or less protein in one sitting, then you have less leucine. Leucine is an amino acid that acts like a switch to trigger muscle building. And when leucine is not present in sufficient amounts for each meal, then this whole muscle building mechanism does not even start, even though you have enough protein throughout the day. If the servings of protein and leucine are too little, muscle building doesn't start very well. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why people with Ozempic or Wegovy tend to lose lean mass. So quick differentiation here, lean mass. What is actually lean mass? Lean mass is not equal muscle mass. Lean mass actually also includes water and glycogen, for example. So water and glycogen are stored in our muscle, okay? But they're not muscle per se. So so let's say 30% of the weight loss from Ozempic and Wegovy is not from fat, then this could also mean that the loss is from water and glycogen, okay? And water and glycogen are very easily replenishable. So when we eat more carbs and we drink more water, then these glycogen storages can go back very fast and then the weight is gained again. Okay, so lean mass is not muscle mass. Of course, muscle is a part of the lean mass, but it's not 100%. Lean mass is not 100% muscle mass. So we looked at the protein decrease through the appetite suppressing effect of Ozempic and Wegovy, triggering a decrease in leucine. But what else happens is proteolysis happens. Proteolysis, which is basically the breakdown of protein. When we don't have enough food, when we're in a caloric deficit, our body will basically release amino acids from our muscle tissue. And this is called proteolysis. Okay, so we're basically eating up our own muscle to feed ourselves. And in a drastic caloric deficit, such as when we are heavily suppressing our appetite with Ozempic or Wegovy, this can also happen. Okay, so proteolysis. And then we also have some pathways that are due to lack of activity. Okay, so when we decrease our caloric intake, we tend to have less energy. Less energy means less movement, less mechanical tension on the muscle, meaning the muscle will atrophy. Okay, if we don't use it, we lose it. So all this together means that semaglutide, Ozempic, Wegovy can trigger those pathways which are indirectly linked with muscle loss. It is not that Wegovy or Ozempic binds to a receptor that would trigger muscle atrophy or something like this. No, it is lost indirectly since the caloric intake is lowered, less protein, less leucine, less muscle building property, less energy, caloric deficit, muscle can get broken down to feed the body. And then lastly, less energy, less training, and all those put together can lead to a quite significant amount of muscle lost while on Ozempic or Wegovy. So there are simple ways to combat that, to prevent that from happening. So we can take Ozempic and maintain a good amount of muscle. How do we do that? We have to eat enough protein per sitting to trigger muscle building properties through leucine. Okay, so eating enough protein in one sitting, usually about 20 to 30 grams of protein, might help with preventing from losing muscle mass on Ozempic or Wegovy. Proteolysis, avoiding going into a caloric deficit that is too drastic. Okay, when you call it talking about caloric deficit for a diet, a healthy diet, we're talking maybe 500 calories per day minus. We're not talking 1,000, 1,500. Those drops in calories might increase the risk of proteolysis, so breaking down muscle to feed the body. So this is a state we don't want to be in, okay, because we're basically using our own muscle for energy, and we don't want that. So eating enough calories to prevent proteolysis, but still little enough to allow steady weight loss. So in the 500 calorie range should usually do the trick. And then mechanical tension, very important. Keep working out while you're on the drug, since mechanical tension is one of the major factors that will help you from preventing to lose muscle while you're on those medications. Okay, so those are basically the causes, but they are easily fixable when you pay attention to your diet and your exercise. I hope you like this video, and please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you for watching.